All right, we're going to get started in about 3 more minutes, just for those of you popping on right now. And y'all know I love a little group chat, so I would absolutely love to see if you guys want to just pop on the chat and let me know if you've ever used a tool like Slack before. And just say yes or no. Anything like some kind of collaborative team tool where you can like chat back and forth and things like that. Jordan says yes. I would hope so, since she's on our team. Candy, no. And Rob said it's new to him. Okay. It's definitely a fun tool. I think you guys are going to enjoy it a lot. I used it a long time ago, the very first time when I was doing some freelance work when I was living up in New York. And one of the new like startup companies I was working for used Slack. And it was one of the very first companies I've ever come across that used it. And it just made life really easy to kind of talk back and forth with people and other freelancers. So I think it's a fun product out there that's totally free. And Charmaine is saying it's also new to her. So that's good. I think this is going to be a great session. All right. Well, it looks like it's about that time. So I am going to go ahead and get started. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining today. I'm really excited to talk about all things Slack and other different types of collaboration tools. And I'm just going to remind you guys to keep yourself muted if you can. And I went ahead and just muted everybody that was on here right now. But if for some reason your mic pops on, just keep that in mind so that way we don't hear any kind of crazy background noise. But thank you so much for joining. Today, we're going to be talking about remote tools like Slack, and then there's a bunch of other different types of collaborative tools out there that you can use as a small business or even just personally with a couple friends or family members. So this is our awesome tabletop team, and I put up our contact information, which you'll see right here. Our website is tabletopmediagroup.com. And then I put up our email address that multiple people on our team take a look at. It's info@tabletopmediagroup.com. And then our social media handle, it's @tabletopmediagp. So feel free to follow us. We have a great presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And then if you want to follow any of us personally, by all means, go for it. And so my name is Kristen. I am the second one from the left and the snakeskin top. And I am the founder of Tabletop Media Group. And we also have a couple other people on the call today from our team. And so I just wanted to take a moment to introduce them. So I have Jordan, who is right next to me on the far left on the bottom row. She is going to be helping us to do some demos today, and she's one of our awesome social media managers. And then we also have Quinn, who's in the red sweater next to me on my left in the photo, and she is one of our publicists. So she handles all things PR, getting clients written up in magazines, newspapers, all different things like that. And then we also have Lewis, who I think you can see her on her video. She's waving to everybody. And she's the one in the top on the right in the photo. And so she's also one of our awesome social media managers. So I'm really excited to have them on the call today, and they'll be helping to do some demos. So today's topic, we're going to talk all things Slack and other collaboration tools. So what's the purpose of these tools? We'll go over that first and foremost. We will talk a little bit about Google Hangouts. And for those of you who were on the Google Suite presentation, you might have a little bit of a refresher. I won't spend too much time on it, but we will talk about how that is a great collaboration tool that you can use. And then we'll go into Cisco Spark, just do like a quick overview of that one, Fleet, and then Shanty. So those we'll just do a brief overview, but then Slack is the one that we're gonna do like a big demo on and really talk to you guys about that one, because I will say it is the most popular collaboration tool that's out there on the market. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, as some people were popping on, that Slack is such a great tool because it is free for a smaller group of people, but like for a small team, I think it would be a great tool that you can use. And once we go over all the bells and whistles, I think you're really going to like it. So what is the purpose of all of these different tools? So the main purpose of these tools is to basically serve as like an instant messaging type of service. So I don't know how many of you guys remember the old days of AOL Instant Messenger. I know it was all the rage when I was like in middle school, I think. And it was great because it was one of the first tools out there where you could like chat back and forth online and not have to like pick up the phone and call somebody. So it's kind of like that, but way more elevated is what I like to say. And so another cool thing is that with tools like Slack and other collab tools, you can quickly share documents, links to things, social media posts. And then the great part is that, say you remember, like I was messaging with Jordan about, one of our clients, Stir, their shrimp and grits. And I couldn't remember where I even put that message and the photo that she had sent me. I can easily go in and search those messages and it'll pop it right up for me. So I can easily find info that I need to refer back to. And I think it's a little bit easier to search on a tool like Slack than sometimes it is in your email. I know, like for me, sometimes I'll be pulling up all of my emails on my phone and it won't necessarily pull up the correct one that I want to take a look at. So Slack is really a great tool to use for searching. And then you can take your work absolutely anywhere. So most of these tools you can take, on your desktop if you're like at the office, or maybe you want to take your laptop somewhere, you can use that. And then you can also use your phone. So a lot of them have apps that you can download directly to your phone. So I think that's also pretty cool. And I'm going to make sure, just a reminder, everybody, if you want to mute yourself, I'm going to make sure I have everybody on mute as well. Awesome. Cool. So we're going to go over the first collaboration tool, which is Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts is pretty much like a great video platform, I would say, but it already has instant messaging built in. So I know this is something that my team uses pretty much every single day. It's really great, like if you have just a quick question that you want to ask somebody and it doesn't warrant an email. So I really like this tool. You can easily chat with one colleague back and forth, so like instant messaging them back and forth, or you can create groups. So say for instance, I want to create a group that's called the marketing team. I could easily do that. So then I would put all the people who are on my marketing team in that group chat, and we can chat back and forth and we'll all be notified that we're seeing it. And then what's really cool about Google Hangouts is you can share photos and documents really easily, and we'll demonstrate how to do that in just a second. And then I think it is just really handy if your company is already working heavily in like Google Drive or Google Suite, because you can integrate so many awesome Google apps. So this is just a quick snapshot of what the platform looks like. And you'll see, I just pulled this up from the internet. It's from Evelyn Jones, and you'll see like she has her marketing team. She has just individual chats here. And then you can see in their marketing team example, they're sharing a really pretty photo of New York City and they're kind of chatting back and forth. So we will go into doing a quick demo, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a group chat and how to set up an individual chat. And then we're going to share a document and also share an image. So I'm going to ask my team who's on the call to get ready to do a quick demo right now. So how you access Google Hangouts, you will need a Google account. So you will have to have a Google account, and you'll sign in, like if you sign into Gmail or different things like that, that's how you would access this. So once you pull up Google Hangouts, there's a little chat function that's over on your far left, and it's called Conversations. So if I wanted to just do an individual conversation, I'm going to pop into Lewis's individual conversation so you guys can see that I'm chatting back and forth with her. So I'm going to say, hey, Lewis, just as a quick test. And so she'll instantly get my message, and then she can respond back to me. So you'll see right now I have the 3 dots under her name. She just typed, hey. So the 3 dots indicates that she's actually typing. So if Lewis, you'll go ahead and start typing again. So you'll see once she starts typing, the 3 dots will pop up immediately. So it's kind of a fun function. You can just tell when your teammates are online or not. I'm just gonna mute everybody if you guys can bear with me. All right, awesome. And then, so we will go ahead and I'm going to show you how to share an image. So directly down in the bottom of the chat, there is a little photo icon. And so it's attach photo. So if I want to share a document or a photo or something from my computer, it's really easy to do so via the chat function. So once you click that button, it will open up and it will say upload photos. So you can use this to upload, maybe I want to send her this photo that I have on my computer. It will immediately say upload. And then as soon as that photo is uploaded, I can hit send. So I'm sending the attachment right here. And so I just sent this beautiful cocktail photo to Lewis. And so she can easily click on this photo, download it to her computer, or she can, send it on to somebody else. And right now she just messaged me, great photo, thank you. So pretty cool function. Great to easily share stuff quickly, especially when you need something really fast from your team. So I really do like that one quite a bit. All right. And then we are going to show you guys how to create a group chat. So I'm going to exit out of Lewis's. If I wanted to create a group chat, I could easily just find one that I've already started, or I could hit new conversation. And when you hit new conversation, I can say a new group, or I can just enter somebody's name individually. So if I just wanted to chat with Zane, that's my husband, I could easily go on here. It'll show me that he was active 1 week ago, so he's not a huge user of it, but I could instantly chat him if I wanted to, and it would just be an individual chat. But if I wanted to do a group chat, I would do new conversation, new group, and then I would start by naming my group. So maybe I want to call it marketing team. And then I want to enter the names of all the people that I want to join. So Lewis is going to be one, Jordan, and Quinn. And then as soon as I hit the check box, it will pop open that I'm chatting with my marketing team, and we can chat back and forth, all 4 of us. So that's a cool way. Now you can see they're all popping on and they're all typing to me. So it's really fun, great, easy way to share things. So now I'm going to ask for Quinn to just share a quick photo with us from her computer. And then while she's doing that, I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to share a document. So it's the same kind of way. You'll click on this photo button down at the bottom. And even though it says drag a photo here or select a photo, you can easily share a document. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a photo. That is one thing just to keep in mind. So say I want to send her this Excel document. I can easily do that. Sorry, it's saying that there's an upload error. Usually it will work. But so what you'll do is just add in that document and then hit select, and it will share it with them. So right now, Quinn shared us with a photo. So I can easily click this photo, and then I can hit save image as, and it will download it to my computer. So something cool that you can do. Sorry, my document thing wasn't working. I think it was a corrupted file, but that's all good. So anyway, that's just kind of the gist on how you can easily message back and forth, and wanted just to show you guys a quick refresher demo right there. So I'm going to hit X out of this, and we will pop out of Google Hangouts. And something else that I will mention too is that if you want to share like Google Docs and whatnot for your team, you can easily pop in, like say I wanted to share this presentation, I can copy this, this link, and just easily send it in here too. So it's great if you want to like share docs that kind of way too, if you're working in Google Docs. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about the pricing of the Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts, you will have to have a Google Suite account. So it's a very affordable and great collaboration tool if your company is already using that because it's already built in. Otherwise, it's $5 a user a month. So not too bad, pretty affordable, and it does come with quite a bit of storage. And if you want to dive into more pricing and things like that, if you'll refer back to the Google Suite presentation, I have it broken down even more, and we can send you a link to that again. Next up, I wanted to go over Cisco Spark. So Cisco Spark is another collaboration tool that's very app-centric, and it's also all in the cloud. So that means it's an internet-based service, and it provides an absolute complete suite for collaborative teams. So whether you're together or apart, it will work anywhere. So the main functions of Cisco Spark, so I have them listed off here in the bullet section. It's to create, meet, message, call, use a whiteboard so you can like draw and kind of brainstorm together, and then also share things. So it all happens in one continuous work stream before, during, and after meetings. And I will show a quick video of it in just a few minutes so you can really see what the ins and outs of Cisco Spark are. So how is it different from Slack? I know we haven't talked about Slack yet, but I want you guys to kind of keep some of these in the back of your mind as we start talking about Slack towards the end of the presentation. So Cisco Spark has the bigger picture in mind. So it focuses on collaboration as a whole, whereas Slack is mainly for just messaging back and forth and like sharing some documents. Cisco Spark, I would say, is way more robust. Like it has the whiteboard built in and lots of other kind of cool functions. You can actually like start video calls directly from Cisco Spark. So pretty neat functions. It just takes communication really to the next level. And I don't think that Slack has really mastered that quite yet, but I'm sure that is coming since all these other tools are adding some of the more robust capabilities into them. So here's a quick video that I want to share you guys on. I'm going to share my computer sound. So this is what Cisco Spark looks like, the ins and outs of it. And so just pay close attention to it, and I'll make this full screen so you guys can see it.
Welcome to Cisco Spark. We've created a better way for you to get work done with your teammates. Now you can create, share, and do regardless of whether you're together or apart. In this video, we'll explain how, with tools like video meetings with screen sharing, messaging, calling, file sharing, and whiteboarding. Staying connected with coworkers is easier and more effective than ever. Let's say you're working toward a big event. To help your team stay organized and get work done faster, create spaces to keep track of separate project deliverables. All of your team's files and conversations live within these spaces, and they are where you have meetings and whiteboarding sessions. Your spaces are shown on the left hand of your screen on a laptop or desktop. But like everything in Cisco Spark, they are accessible and searchable from any device, so you can keep things on track no matter where you are. Let's create a new space to track a deliverable for the event we're organizing. Just select the plus icon near the top of your screen to create a space. If you want to have a separate conversation with someone, like if you need to clarify an issue with a project lead or give specific feedback, you can contact a person directly. To add people to your new space, simply type in their name to pull from your company's directory or use their email address. This makes it easy to add folks from outside your organization. Use your space to share documents, project plans, design assets, or pretty much anything with the people you're working with. The files you share will be posted in line with your conversations, so it's easy to collaborate, share feedback, and move things forward. Cisco Spark includes powerful capabilities like video meetings, calling, and whiteboarding. All of those functions, as well as the content for your space, is accessed through the menu in the upper right-hand corner. Let's start with Files. Here, we can easily see and preview all of the files that have been shared in the space. Under People, you can see everyone who is in the space. People from outside your organization will be identified with their domain name in orange. This is also where you can invite new colleagues to a space. When you add a new person, they can scroll through and see previous conversations and access files already shared within the space. Sometimes it's easier to talk through something live. And luckily, working together in Cisco Spark doesn't just happen in writing. It can be face-to-face too. You can share your screen and interact with your teammates just as you would if you were in the same room. To take a look at past calls and video meetings across all of your spaces, click on the Calls tab on the left side navigation bar. When you start to accumulate a lot of spaces for your projects, the Teams tab can help keep things organized. Located on the left side navigation bar, Teams categorizes multiple spaces under a common theme, such as a larger umbrella project, department within your company, a topic area, or even a real-life team. Every person who is added to a team has visibility into all spaces and files shared within that team. From there, each team member can opt in to spaces relevant to their work. Thanks for exploring Cisco Spark with us. This is just the beginning, and we're looking forward to helping you create, share, and do more. Be sure to follow Cisco Spark.
All right, so that was just a brief overview of what it looks like on the back end on Cisco Spark. I will say it's a system I have not personally used, but I do have some friends that do use it for their companies or wherever they work, and it is quite robust. As you can see, I really love the fact that, like, if you wanted to video chat someone real quick, especially right now, like during COVID-19, and even if your business is going to just start doing more remote working or working from home, I think it's really important to have video because it's almost like face to face. It really does go a long way when you can actually see somebody when you're communicating. So I thought that was a really neat function of that. And it's pretty affordable, actually. Cisco Spark does have a free plan, and then there is a plus plan that's $12 a user per month. But I will say, if you go to their website, you can do, I believe, a free demo. And so you can just see kind of the bells and whistles of it if it's something that works for you and your company. And then I know that they do have like different tiers of pricing depending on the many functions that you want for your company. So very affordable, really neat tool. I think the back end is really clean. So something that I would definitely take a look at if that seemed interesting to you for your company. So then next up, I wanted to go over Fleep. So this is another collaboration tool that's a great alternative for people who work more across organizational units within than within any single department. So say, for instance, like at Tabletop Media Group, say we're a huge agency and we have just a social media team that's only developing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter posts. But then we also have a team of photographers. So for Tabletop, it would be really great for us to be on something like Fleep, because our social media team needs to be talking to our photography team, because they need to make sure that our photographers are going out and getting the right types of photos that they can then use on our clients' social media accounts. So that would be an example of a type of organization where it would work really well. But maybe you're in an organization that doesn't have to, like your departments are pretty segmented. You don't really have to collaborate with other departments. Like maybe you're just IT and IT only talks to IT, then maybe Fleep wouldn't be the best type of collab tool for you. So what Fleep is also really great for is that messaging feature. So you can, message between people in your organization, but you can also add people outside of the Fleep system. So say you want to add in a client that's working on like a project with you, you could easily add them in and you can chat back and forth with them on Fleep. So 3 interesting functions of Fleep. So you can collaborate in conversations. So conversations like that, I kind of go back to like the AOL instant messaging, that kind of thing is at the heart of Fleep. So you can set up these conversations around different projects, different teams, or topics in order for you guys to all stay connected and to discuss the different ideas. And then you can highlight any decisions or plans on the conversations pin board, which I'll show you in just a couple minutes. And you can create different tasks to coordinate execution. So it's almost like a little bit like project management, which we did talk about some of the project management tools out there. So kind of on the same vein as project management as well. So Fleep, you can work across company borders, as I mentioned, so you can communicate with any other Fleep user or team without having to sign out or sign in separately. So as long as the person is on Fleep, you can communicate with them. So you will need to invite like a client, for instance, to join Fleep, just to have a Fleep username, and then they can start talking with you. But they don't have to actually be like a tabletop team member. They could be one of our restaurant clients, like Stir, for instance, or Whiskey Kitchen. One of the restaurants we work with could have a Fleep account and still talk within the tabletop team. So I think that's really cool. And it's really easy to search and add your colleagues or clients directly into your conversation. So the third interesting function of Fleep is that you can stay connected at your desk and on the go. So I put some examples up of what Fleep looks like on the mobile version and then like on your tablet. So you can easily use your web browser or different native apps like for Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, etc. So there are some really great native apps that you can download, and it's a pretty sleek background, and all your files and messages are stored on the cloud. So it is internet based. So it's really easy to pull and access those as you need them. So next up, we'll watch this video so you can really see what the back end of Fleep looks like.
Welcome to Fleep. Let's take a quick look at the interface of Fleep. This is the All Conversations view inside the Fleep web application. On the left pane here, you will see a list of all of your conversations. To start with, you have the Fleep support conversation. On the right-hand panel, every conversation has a few features. For example, here you have the search, which you can use to search inside the conversation. Next item is the pin board. Here you'll have any pinned messages. To pin a message, you'll just click on the message action menu and select pin. Now it will also appear on the pin board. You can use this feature to pin any kind of important information. Next you have the file drawer, where you will find all the files that have been shared in the conversation. The next icon below is for the task board. Here you can assign, create, and manage any tasks. Then you have the conversation settings and help and assistance. In the upper part of the interface, you'll see a small icon that looks like a person. There you can find the members of the conversation. Next to it, you have a small button for all conversation actions. And to the left of the members icon, you have labels. You can also find the conversation actions when you click on any conversation on the left pane. For example, you can unstar the support conversation. Let's try starting a new conversation in Fleep. For that, click on the plus button next to the Fleep logo. In the pop-up window that appears, type in an email address of someone you know. And click on the small button next to that email address. Now you can create the conversation. As Kathy is not a Fleep user, this is an email conversation. You can tell it from the conversation avatar or from the members pane, where you can see a small email icon next to Kathy's email address. As it is an email conversation, you have the subject line and the message box. Type a subject and a message and hit send. Now you have started your first conversation in Fleep. If you know someone who already is using Fleep, you can start a conversation with them by using their email address as well. If their Fleep account is tied to that email address, Fleep will recognize the account and add them to the conversation as a Fleep user. Happy Fleeping!
So that is something kind of cool about Fleep that I like. You can invite somebody to join Fleep, but you can just send it as like an email message if somebody doesn't have Fleep, but it's not as robust. So they won't be able to respond back to you and share different things as they would be able to if they were a Fleep user. So I think the background is pretty nice too. I don't like it as much personally as like the Cisco Spark or Slack, but it is something that has become really popular in the UK and just abroad. So it's something I just wanted to bring to your attention because I think it's only just a matter of time before people in the US really start using it. So the pricing for Fleep, it's very affordable. There is a personal plan is what they call it, and it's free. And you can access the full message history. So like anytime, I was chatting with Jordan or Lewis or Quinn, I could get all of my message history. It's archived so I can search it. And then I can have unlimited one-to-one conversations. So I could chat with Quinn all the time, could chat with Lewis all the time, and then I can have up to only 3 group conversations. So say I wanted to have my marketing team, my social media team, and my photography team, that's all I could have as a group conversation. So that is one of the limitations about the free account. And then it does only give you 10 gigabytes of file storage. So for people that are sharing or storing large files, that might not be the best tool for you. And then it does have the apps that we mentioned for like your smartphone or your tablet. And then the business plan, a little bit more robust, it's €5. So you would have to convert the rate, but €5 a user per month. So still very affordable. You can have unlimited group conversations. So that's a nice perk right there. 100 gigabytes of file storage. So quite a large jump up. And then you can have all sorts of different teams. And then it gives you like more premium settings and you can customize Fleep with your company's logo and different things like that. So I think it is a great tool. Like I said, very popular in Europe right now. So it's only a matter of time before it hits the States. So next up is Shanty. So Shanty is another one of the collaboration tools. It's great as a simple team chat tool for small and medium-sized teams. So that's why I really wanted to bring it up to you guys. And it's pretty similar to Slack. The Shanty users communicate in public and private channels and with those like one-to-one conversations. So say you just wanted to have like a private channel just for like you and a couple of your team members that everybody else at the tabletop organization couldn't see, you could do that. But then you can also have public channels where anybody from our organization could see those. So kind of cool that you can do that on Shanty. And then, like I said, one-to-one conversations. If I just wanted to chat real quick with Jordan from my team, I could easily do that. And then it's really great for more of like the techie type of companies because you can connect Shanty with a ton of other apps. So it makes the team chat platform more robust. And you'll see that Slack also does that, which I think is really great. And we'll get into that in just a few more minutes. So some 4 interesting functions of Shanty. Number 1 is you can stay organized in what they call Teambook. So Teambook is basically the space that organizes all your files, your links, different tasks, and conversations into folders. And so you'll see on the right-hand side, I have what the Teambook looks like. So you can see all the different types of like folders, I guess, that everything is organized into. So different from Slack, Shanty doesn't limit its searchable message history. So depending on what type of account you have with Slack, sometimes it won't pull all of your messages from like way back when, whereas Shanty does. So I think that is a really great function of Shanty. Number 2 is that you can share multiple content in a single app. So for instance, like say I wanted to share something like a YouTube video and also a photo and a Google Doc and all sorts of different things like that, I can easily do that in Shanty. And then it does save you time switching between the apps. So say I wanted to share with my team a quick YouTube video, but then I also wanted to link to a social media post. Instead of, having to go into the actual like Facebook, facebook.com and finding that post and then sharing it, I can easily just access my Facebook account through Shanty, which is super cool. So Slack, you can also do that. So we will show you how to do some of that stuff too. And then, like I said, you can just view your favorite media content directly within Shanty. So if I wanted to easily find something off of like my Google Drive, for instance, I can literally just click a button that says Google Drive, find my document and just share it straight from Shanty instead of, having to type in my web browser, Google Drive, and opening that up and finding that document. So it's a really cool function, quite robust. And then you highlight your colleagues with the @ sign. So the @ is called a mention. So say if I wanted to like ping somebody from my team, I'm going to ping Quinn really quick. I would just type @ and then Quinn's name, and it will easily populate her name. and then I can start typing and she'll get a quick notification that I've chatted with her. So if I like instantly need some help, maybe like, hey, Quinn, what was the deadline on sending out that press release? I can easily @Quinn and then type a quick question to her, and she'll get a ping to know that she needs to get back to me quick. So it's great for when stuff needs your instant attention and you need an instant reaction. So I wanted to pop this up so you can kind of see what the backend looks like. So you can see, you can easily, right here, it has a pinned message, Terry, it says @here. And so she's just like, pinging somebody with the @ So that's just how it looks on the back end. And then the fourth interesting function of Shanty is that you can create and manage tasks to stay productive. So I really like this as somebody who loves a to-do list, like, checking off things. I think this is a cool function of Shanty. So you can create new tasks totally from scratch or turn any message into a task. And we'll see that in the video in just a second, I believe. And you can assign and filter tasks by the status, date, and people. And you can start task discussions and one easy click to make sure everyone's on the same page. So say we were chatting, we have a blog on our website. It's called Tabletop Talk. And so Quinn from our team is kind of the manager of the blog. And so say we're chatting as a team, brainstorming some blog ideas. Say Jordan decides like, hey guys, I'm going to write a blog about top 5 things you should do for your mom for Mother's Day. So instead of having just that like quick sentence as a brainstorm, Quinn could then turn that into a task and put a due date on it and assign it to Jordan to complete next Friday. And so that's really cool that you can actually turn chats into a task. So really neat function of Shanty. So we're going to watch this quick video right here about how to use Shanty. All right, so this is how it's just like a 5-second video. So this is how you would actually do the back end and tag somebody. So you can see that they're creating a task. So you're tagging somebody, they're tagging Patrick right here. So what they're doing is this message right here is being assigned to Patrick. And so now Patrick knows that he has to update the cover of the ebook with the latest illustration from Wendy. So what they've done is they've easily turned this chat into something that's now a task. So pretty cool function. That's just kind of what the backend looks like. And so you can see that you're easily able to chat with people. You can like some of their posts, just interact with them, tag them using that @. So Wong is saying, great job @Wendy. So she would get a notification and be able to chat back and forth with her team right there. So Shanty has flexible plans that grow with you. So there is a free plan and it does offer up to 10 team members, and you have unlimited public and private conversations, unlimited searchable history, unlimited one-on-one audio calls, and you can also do voice messages. And it does give you a little bit more space than the other one that we were just talking about. So this one gives you 20 gigabytes per team. And then the business plan, a little bit more robust. It starts at $3 per user per month, and it has some additional features like you can have 3 guests per 1 user. So say you are doing a lot of like client-based projects. Say Kristen is one of the users, myself, for the business plan, then I could invite 3 guests outside of my organization to also join in with me on Shanty. And then you get 20 gigabytes per user. So it's quite a large jump up. And I did put in the link if you guys want to learn a little bit more about Shanty. Right now, they are running a really awesome deal. It's only $1.50 a user a month, so even cheaper, which is really cool. So they're doing a huge promotion due to COVID-19. It's called #WorkFromHome, and it's a coupon that saves you 50% off. So really great time if you wanted to try something out like this. So this is a quick tutorial video so you guys can see what Shanty is all about. So I'm going to pop this up.
Welcome to Shanty. Shanty is clean and simple team chat. We bring all your communication in one place without extra complexity and confusing features. The best way to start exploring Chanty is creating conversations for your departments or projects. Conversations make your team organized and always on the same page. Any team member can join and participate in public conversations. Private conversations promote the culture of focused discussions, and only people you invite will be able to join. Finally, one-to-ones are your choice to quickly reach a colleague for help or share updates. Remember to be nice and keep the conversation going. Just like that. Add a collaborative layer to your workflow with tasks. Built-in tasks help your team focus and get more productive during a day. Create new tasks or assign any message as a task to people on your team. On top of that, you can hit Discuss and jump to a task-related thread with only relevant people around. Working from home or on the go and want to reach your colleagues ASAP? Try one-on-one or group audio calls. Want to turn on a video to see your people? One click and Chanty's got you covered. Share voice messages on the go to leave a note to your team. No spell check problems, no formatting issues, just you and your voice speaking to a team. Make your team messaging more personal and targeted with mentions. Ask for help or announce your ideas typing the @ symbol. Tired of sending messages and guessing they got read or simply vanished in the unlimited chat history? Smart teams use reactions for that. Every time you switch the apps or devices, notifications in Chanty take care of your FOMO. You'll have 3 levels of notifications, depending on the activity you're ready to handle. Focus is equally important. That's why we added Do Not Disturb and Silent modes to our team chat. One-click presets will snooze notifications while you are in D&D. There's more to just messaging in Chanty. You can share files, links, or GIFs to bring more context to your discussions. Hit the attachments icon or simply drag and drop a file. It's time to turn your team chat into a command center. Forget about switching between dozens of apps to know the updates. Add the apps you use or find more to cover your needs. No more app switching. Teambook is a single place where all team activity is neatly organized. Tasks, conversations, files, links, and pinned messages. You can search, filter, and browse unlimited chat history. That's how smart teams can get more things done together with Chanty.
So I think that's a really awesome backend for Chanty, and I think it's something that is really robust, pretty similar to Slack. And so, sorry, my slides are all out of whack here. Let me pop back over here. So I'm really excited to, now that we've gone over some of the other tools, to really dive into Slack. And my team is going to be available, and we're going to show you lots of awesome behind the scenes demos and what the tool looks like, because it's something that I think a lot of small businesses and even large companies are using. And it's just a really awesome communication tool. And you can do fun things like poll people, connect your Google Drive. There's a wide range of apps that you can connect. So Slack is really what today's presentation is going to be all about. And it's one of those great communication tools that has everything all in one place. So remote teams can stay really productive when they're using Slack, no matter where they're working from, which is so important right now, especially. So we're going to go over what is a channel. So Slack works in channels is kind of what they're known for. So we'll go over in this quick video about what a channel is, and then you'll get to see behind the scenes when we do a demo. So let's watch this real quick.
Slack is where work happens. And when you work in Slack, that work happens in channels. While email can be great for many things, it's often difficult to keep your team on track and projects moving forward. Juggling endless email chains and remembering to CC the right people is just the start of it. With channels, you can assemble the right people in one space and organize around a common goal, whether that's a project, topic, or team. When you need to get the group's attention, you can easily notify them, get aligned, and move on to the next task. Channels aren't confined to working with just people at your organization. You can also create shared channels to work with external partners, clients, and vendors. So no matter who you're working with, everyone's in the loop and on the same page. All the messages and files in a channel are saved and searchable. You can quickly find conversations from any channel within your company. You'll spend less time tracking down people to answer questions and more time getting work done. Discover a whole new way of working with channels in Slack.
So that's just a quick overview of what a channel is. And like they said, everything happens in channels. So what's really cool about Slack is that it keeps everything that you're working on super, super organized. So I know I am definitely guilty of having one of those email inboxes that has like 200 emails a day. And I wish that it was a little bit more organized, but something like Slack or, any of these collaboration tools can help cut down on your email inbox. So instead of one single overstuffed email inbox, you can have conversations happen in Slack, and they have dedicated spaces in these particular channels. So going back to like the tabletop blog section that we have on our website, instead of emailing each other back and forth, hey, what are some of your ideas for the blog this month? We could do it all within Slack. And then Quinn, who's our manager of the blog, she can easily, ping people to chat kind of one-off about some of their ideas and assign them due dates. So that's something really neat that can cut down on some of those, almost unnecessary emails that are just like short little answers that you could easily do yourself. And just a reminder, if everybody can please mute themselves. I think we had a little bit of feedback there. All right. So then also in Slack, you can follow conversations pretty easily, and you can find information in that searchable archive. So in the video, they showed how you can easily search. So say I wanted to find like a rough draft that Jordan wrote about her Mother's Day blog, like top 5 things to do for your mom for Mother's Day. I could just type in Mother's Day and it would pop open that, that document. I can easily click on it and then review the document. So it's really great, super functional and searchable for the archive section on Slack. And then unlike email, Slack lets you choose which conversations are most important and which can wait. So it's really neat because on the back end of Slack, you'll see which tabs are unread for you or like what has the most action. But maybe it's just something that you just have to be kept in the loop on, but it doesn't really require a ton of your attention. So you might choose to put that one off a little bit, but then maybe you're the director of marketing and your marketing team Slack has a lot of notifications and you need to take a look at that. You could click on that one first and respond to any messages that you're pinged on. So it's really neat. It helps you kind of, I like to call it buckets, like organize into different buckets of things that you have to get done within your day. So time for a demo. I'm going to pull up the back end of Slack and we're going to show you how to invite people to join your team, how to integrate all the different apps, and there are hundreds of them, and then how to share files, how to set up a channel, and how to chat on the channel. And so this is our URL. I did want to point this out because when your company creates a Slack account, it would be your company name.slack.com. So for us, it's tabletopmediagroup.slack.com. And only people who are users of the Tabletop Slack account can actually access this. So if you guys were to access this, you wouldn't be able to hop on and start chatting with us unless we invite you. So that is kind of neat that it is branded with your company name. So I'm going to ask my team to hop on Slack now. So when you go to your Slack account, this is what it will look like on the back end. So I'm actually just going to pop it open through here so you can see what the home page will look like first. So right now you'll see that everything is organized here on the left. So I have my section that says people. So I can invite people here. So this is how I would easily invite a team member. So say I want to invite Corey from my team who has not been invited yet. So I'll search her email address. I can add from a Google directory or simply just type in her email. And then I can title her name, Corey Kamensky. And then I can share an invite link if I wanted to, or just send an invitation. So right now I'm just gonna send the invitation. So she will instantly get a notification that she has been invited to my workspace. So pretty easy to do. And if I want to invite somebody like a client or whatnot, I can easily do that here as well, which is really great. So that's just how simple it is to invite people to join Slack. And it will, depending on like how many people you have on your Slack account, the pricing could go up, and we'll talk about pricing towards the end so that way you guys can see it. So that's an easy way to add people. You can also add in profile photos. We haven't done that yet. But if you wanted to add in a quick profile photo, you can easily click on your name. So I'm the admin, so I can see all of my team members here. But if I wanted to add in my profile, I would hit edit profile after I click on it. And then you can see I can upload an image to my profile photo. So I'm just gonna pick this pretty lake photo for right now. I would recommend adding in like a headshot or something if you wanted to, but we'll do the lake photo, and you can easily crop it right within Slack and hit save. And then I can put my full name here. I can have a display name. So if you want have like a nickname or a different name that you go by, I'm just gonna put my name as Kristen. What I do, so this is letting people know what you do within that company. So at Tabletop Media Group. So I'm just gonna put founder. I can also insert my phone number. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then time zone is Eastern time. And then I can hit save changes. And so now it will easily save all my changes. And you can even set a status, which I think is kind of neat. Going back to like the old AOL instant messaging days when everybody would set a status, that's something kind of fun. You can make it funny, or maybe you can say that, hey, I'm vacationing, so don't expect a response from me, or I'm in a meeting, or I could just update something like be right back in 45 minutes. And so I can hit save, and then you can choose until. So like this status is until 11:59 tonight. So it's something kind of fun that I really do like. It's great, especially if you're working with a team, of multiple people, and you cannot keep up on who's on vacation, who's not, who's in the office, who's at a doctor's appointment. It's great that they can go ahead and set that status. So it reminds people where they are today and maybe why they're not responding. So if I was out sick, I could put that on there, and it will put a little notification right by my name that I am out sick. So something kind of neat that I wanted to definitely show you guys. So then that's the people tab, and we will go into the app section. So I think this is something that's really cool about Slack. So you can bring all your tools together into Slack. So on Slack, your apps belong to you and your team. So you can install them once and everybody can use them. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. So say as the founder of Tabletop, I'm setting this up for everybody, and I want to add in our Trello board, which is one of the project management tools that we talked about. I could just add Trello just as Kristen on the back end, but now my entire team can access it. So that's something really cool to keep in mind. So there are, as you can see, a bunch of different apps. Right now, the ones at the top are the apps that I currently have added into my Slack account. So you'll see it says 4 apps in Tabletop Media Group. So we have Google Calendar, Doodlebot, Google Drive, and Poly. And I'll go into all 4 of those in just a second when we demonstrate how to use the app. But then it also has recommended apps underneath. So those of you who are on this call know that you're using Zoom right now. So I could easily add in Zoom. So I could start a Zoom meeting directly in Slack if I wanted to. So it would have Zoom plugged into Slack. And then if I did need to chat like a team or start a team call with everybody, I could do that via the Zoom app, and it will automatically pop open and start a meeting. I can add in my Outlook calendar. Maybe I'm using Outlook, and it will sync the calendar and let me respond to invites and show me my schedule. So it will send me notifications of when I have something popping up. You can also add in Twitter, so you can bring those tweets directly into Slack. Similar to Shanty, how we were talking about, you can get media directly into your Slack account. So if I wanted to add in the Tabletop Twitter, I could do that, and it would give me notifications if somebody tweeted at me, and I can take a look at it directly in Slack without having to pull up twitter.com. So that's also something really neat. I really love the Dropbox one, especially if you're a company that uses Dropbox a lot, or maybe one of your clients has shared you on their Dropbox account. You can easily add Dropbox into your Slack workspace. So that's something else that's kind of cool. You can add your email. So Slack for Gmail is something else. There's Outlook. There's also some other different things like GoToMeeting, similar to Zoom. BlueJeans, also similar to Zoom. So there's a bunch of other apps that you can add. Box is one that we did talk about. It's similar to Dropbox. It's a file storage and sharing software, so you can add that in there. And then you can also just click Browse App Directory. And so this will let me know all the different apps that can integrate within Slack. So you see there are a ton of things that are out here. You can search, depending on different categories. Maybe you're in the finance side of things and you want to add in your Stripe account, which is something that takes mobile and web payments. So you could add in that. Perhaps you're in marketing, so you'll click on this. You could add in your MailChimp account. So, I mean, the options are absolutely endless. There are so many apps that integrate within Slack, and they will send you notifications when new things are happening and so on. So really neat that you can do that. And there's also social and fun, which I thought was kind of cool. So if you wanted to, there's something called Donut, grab a remote donut or coffee, or there's a birthday bot, keep track of office birthdays and anniversaries. So that's something kind of fun that you could integrate. And so what you do is you simply click on the app that you want to integrate and you say add to Slack. And then it will notify you that it's requesting permission to access your Slack workspace, and you'll click allow. And so once you allow that, you will click what channel you want it added to. So maybe I just want the birthday one integrated into my team building channel, and I'll hit next. And you can see some of them will have, some pricing or custom pricing, different things like that. A lot of them are free though. So I'm just going to select the standard one real quick just for that. And then it would make you put in your credit card and whatnot. But as soon as you do that, it would be integrated into Slack. So like I said, there are a lot of like really great free ones that you can easily add to, like all the Google apps I integrated for free. Poly, something that we'll go over in a second, that I also integrated for free. So really cool function. Highly recommend like browsing that app directory, adding in whatever apps you think will be great for your team to use. So really great tools. Next up, we'll click on files. So this is where you can upload files and see and search all of your team's files. So say for instance, I want to upload that lake photo because I need my website developer to add this to one of our clients' websites. So I could add a quick message. Can you upload this to X client's website? And then I can share it with a channel or a person. So say Lewis is our website developer. I'm just going to share it quickly with her. And so now it will only be shared with Lewis. So as soon as I hit upload, you'll see that it pops open my direct messages to Lewis. And so she'll get a ping that I've asked her, can you upload this to X client's website? And now Lewis can actually respond back to me if she wants, and she can say, sure thing, there you go. So it pops right in there. So I know now that she's seen that, she's going to be handling it. So that's something kind of neat that you can do. And then if I want to add a reaction to her message after she says sure thing, I'm going to just put a thumbs up, just kind of thanking her for doing that. I can do that. Or I can also start a new thread. I can say, thanks so much, and send her just a message within that message. So instead of going, back and forth, I can just type something real quick on one of her messages. So that's kind of another fun function. I could also save this message if I needed to. Maybe this is something that I need to save for later. That's really important. I want to make sure that she's accomplished that. So I'm just going to hit save. And then there is some other stuff, more actions. I could unfollow the thread if I wanted to. You could remind me about this. So maybe I want to check in with her in 1 hour that she has actually done this. So I'm going to have a little reminder. And so in 1 hour, Slack will ping me to go back and look at that message. So something kind of fun that you can do, especially when you're on deadlines. So that's how the file section works. You can easily upload them, but say I needed to search something. I'm trying to look for the mushroom risotto photo that I uploaded. So I'm going to type mushroom and I'll hit search, and then it'll immediately pull up that file that I had uploaded of the mushroom risotto. So really simple search function. You can just type whatever you're looking for. And as long as you've named things, it will be really easy to search within your files. So I think that's a really great function. You can search between the newest files, the oldest files, A to Z, Z to A, and you can also have some filters. So maybe if like Lewis or Jordan or Quinn has shared something, it would populate their names. So I could search and find a file that Quinn has just uploaded. And so it gives you some pretty advanced features on searching. So easy to upload a file. You just click the green button, upload, find your file. It can be any type of file. Say I want to upload something that's a document. Let's see if this will work now. I'm going to try to upload this PDF. And so then I will go in, I'm going to say this is a Veterans Holiday Flyer. And then I can share this with, I'm going to share it with actually my whole team. So I'm going to share it under the team building channel, which we'll dive into in just a second. And then I'm going to upload that. And then now under team building, they'll get a notification under this channel that this flyer has been shared. And now everybody can download this by clicking the little cloud button. They could share the file to another channel, to somebody personally, etc. Or they can choose other actions. They could open it in a new window, delete it, different things like that. So Files is a pretty powerful tool where you can upload and share different things. So next up, we're going to talk about the channels. So channels, I like to think about them kind of like in projects in a way. So maybe you have, like for us, we have different clients that we manage social media for. So I created a channel called Stir Social Media. Stir is a restaurant in the Raleigh area. And Jordan is the only person, we have 5 people that are currently on this channel. So we have Jordan, Corey, Quinn, Lewis, and myself. So all of us could chat back and forth all about the Stir Social Media. If I wanted to remove a team member, I could, or if I want to add somebody, I definitely can as well. So that's something kind of fun that you can add people to that channel whenever you want. So I'm going to pop open the Stir Social Media channel and you'll see that you can look at all of our different discussions. So right now, just Jordan and Kristen have been talking back and forth. So you can see that I had some actions yesterday happen. And then I asked Jordan early this morning if she could share a photo of Stir's brunch with me. So she was easily able to add in just a quick photo of the shrimp and grits. I asked her, that's the shrimp and grits, right? And I pinged her, which is the @ symbol. So mentioning @Jordan. So she'll get a notification that I pinged her and she was able to say, yep, let me know if you need any more photos of that dish. So if I wanted to have another message go out, maybe this time to Quinn, I can easily start typing her name. Do you have more photos of Stir's, whoops, didn't mean to delete that. I'll type her name, the @Quinn. Do you have more photos to share? And then I can easily chat her and then now she'll get a message that I've pinged her and then she can respond with me directly into Slack by tagging me or just responding directly in that channel. So she's asking me, yes, what dish do you want a photo of? So I know that our client has mason jar mimosas. So I'll say mason jar mimosas and then she'll easily be able to go in and find a photo and share it with me. So she's saying that she's on it right now. So say I was Quinn and I wanted to share a photo, I'll easily show you how you can do that. So you'll say sharing photo now, and there is a paperclip button down here and I can attach a file. So what's really cool is I can add a file from my Google Drive or my computer because I've integrated that Google Drive app. So maybe I work in Dropbox instead of Google Drive. I could click on Dropbox. It would pop up here and be able to find a photo in my Dropbox. But I'm going to click on Google Drive and it will automatically import all of my photos. So I'm just going to share this quick photo right here. I know it's not of the mason jar mimosas, but I will attach that as a paperclip and it will immediately upload that photo. So that's something really cool that you can do. You can add files all sorts of different kinds. I could share a Google Doc if I wanted. I'm going to select that and it will automatically populate that file, that photo, whatever you have right into your chat. So what's also kind of cool is that Slack is really smart and it will tell you like right now, it looks like this document that I shared isn't viewable by everyone on here. So I can allow everybody to view and click that option and now everyone can now view this file. So really neat. I think it's great that you can use Slack for all these different types of file sharing and just like kind of chatting back and forth. It's especially a great tool when you need instantaneous responses from people or you just want to cut down on all the noise that you're getting in email. So the next thing I wanted to show you guys is just like a direct message So I'm going to pop into with Jordan. I'm going to say, hey, and we can just chat back and forth. So you can tell that this is a direct message because it's under direct messages, and you can see that just Jordan and I are talking back and forth. So if you wanted to chat with her about something just individually that you don't want anybody else on the team to see, you could do that. I can easily pop back over to Lewis and say, hey, to her. And then we can chat back and forth on her separate direct message channel. So something really great about Slack for more of that one-on-one messaging. So again, channels are where like company-wide work happens. So that's where you can talk about, like, if it's company, like 5 people in my company are on the Stir social media channel, all 5 of us can talk and share. But if I want to just directly talk to somebody, I pop into their direct messages. And also something that's kind of cool is that you can see who's online and who's not. So I can see like Lewis right now has her green dot on. Jordan's just had gone off probably because she like went over to a new window. And then once she went back on the Slack window, it turned green. So it's really great. I can see that Corey is offline right now because it's not highlighted green. And then if you do have questions, there is something called Slackbot. So this is something that's always on your Slack. You can choose to turn it off if you want, but I find that it's really helpful when you're just starting to use Slack. So say you have a question like, how can I edit a message that I just posted? You can type that into Slackbot and it will actually be so smart and tell you kind of step-by-step directions on how to do something. So it's like your help center. So something else that's kind of neat. And then down at the very bottom on the far left, there's your apps section. So the apps section is where you can have all your different apps connected. So you can see that I have Polly connected, which I think is really fun. It's an easy way to get feedback from your peers in Slack. So you can create polls and different things like that right within this app. And then you'll see I have my Google Calendar app connected. So you'll see that it's basically a direct message history with my personal Google Calendar. So I've connected my Kristen calendar from Google, and I got a notification today that this webinar was starting. So at 10 a.m., it notified me at 7:30. So at 7:30, I got a notification. At 10 a.m., I have Slack and other collaboration tools webinar coming up. And then it notified me 1 minute before the event. So put it as a large announcement, letting me know that I really need to immediately bring my attention onto this. And so then say I have not looked at one of the apps in a little while, it'll pop open that I have notifications. So you'll see Google Drive is highlighted, it's bolded, and it has the number 1 in it. So I'll click on this. It said I have 1 notification. So it says that somebody shared an item with me on Google Drive. So it's one of my colleagues. She shared an item about this project that we're working on. So it's really cool. I know that now she shared me on this. I could click the document and it will pop open that document for me that she was working on. So really great way to keep up with what all is happening within your company on some of these different apps that you're using. So now I'm going to pop into team building, and I'm going to show you how to use one of the apps that I've connected within a channel. So right now I'm in our team building section. Our team loves to have like fun events. And so I have connected Polly, which is a really fun app. I would definitely jot it down if you'd like, that you can create polls with. So I connected Polly. It's one of the free apps that integrates with Slack. So I'm going to scroll down to the lightning bolt right here. It's a shortcut. And then I'll search or scroll down to Polly, and I'm going to hit create a poll. So I'm going to go through all the different steps. So Polly is asking me, what question do I want to ask to my team? So I'm going to ask, what should our June team building be? And then I can choose to do multiple choice, agree or disagree, all sorts of different types of questions. For now, I'm going to do multiple choice. I'm going to add some options: a ropes course, swimming at the lake, boating at the lake, or let's see, whitewater rafting. So these are my different options. I could add another choice if I wanted, and then audience can add choices. So I can either disable or enable that. So maybe I just want to disable it because I only want them to be able to pick between options A through D. So then I hit submit, and it will allow me to pick my audience now. So I'm going to pick my audience. I'm going to scroll down to that channel, which is indicated by the hashtag sign or the pound sign, and it's going to go into team building. And then I'm going to hit send poll, and it says right now, sending to channel team building. So I'll send the poll, and this is what it'll look like. There's a thing from Polly. It says, what should our June team building be? So now everybody who's on the team building channel will get a notification, and you can see that I'm getting votes in real time. So someone from my team already said that they want to do boating at the lake. So now I have another one, whitewater rafting. So we're one-on-one right now. So what will the third one be? We'll wait for the next team member to vote. So it's really cool that you can get responses in real time. It's great if you're trying to, like, you know, we talked about some of those like meetings that we hate organizing, like, hey, what time works best for a team meeting? So you could easily create a poll through Slack to say, like, does 10 a.m., 11, or 12 work for you guys? And you could all vote real quick, and then you can see what the response is. So as the person who started this poll, I can click view all responses, and I can see that Quinn and Jordan responded, and we're just waiting on Lewis to respond. And so then I can also pick what time a poll needs to close, different things like that when I'm setting it up. Right now, this poll closes at 11:07 a.m. on May 28th, so a month from now. But I could have shortened it to say you only have like an hour to respond, and then whatever the response, the majority is, that's what our team building is going to be. So it's really cool. Lots of great functions right there. So right now I know that we're tied, and we'll just wait for the rest of our team to respond before we pick what our June team building will be. So a fun tool that's integrated right in there. You could also do something like if you wanted to share, create an event or share a doodle poll. A doodle poll is something kind of cool where you could ask what meeting time works best. So what meeting time works best? And that's going to be at Tabletop's office. And I'm going to say this is our team meeting for June. And then I can add participants. I can add, it's going to be the team building channel. And it's going to be, I'm going to add certain dates and times that I'm requesting for them to pick which one works best. So today at, let's say 5 p.m., or I'm going to say, let's do a different time. And then I could, find other times, April 30th at 10, May 1st at 10. And then I can create a poll. And I'm going to now have a doodle poll, and people can vote on what time works best for them. So right now I'm getting votes in. I'm asking what time works best for a meeting for our tabletop team at our office for June. And so all these different votes are coming in. So as soon as I get a notification that everybody has completed this poll, I'll now see that today at 5 actually works best for the majority of my team. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we meet at that time. So another really cool thing that you can use. And now I did finally get Lewis as a response here. So it looks like voting at the lake is what our June team building is going to be. So really great tools that integrate directly into Slack, and it's fun to just collaborate back and forth. So really wanted to show you guys the back end of Slack and how it works. And there's so many apps. I encourage you to connect them, explore them, kind of tweak and play around with them. But it's a fun tool that is a little bit more I think versatile than something like a Google Hangouts or whatnot, because of all these different apps that integrate directly into there. So something to certainly take a look at. And then pricing for Slack, did want to go over this briefly. So it's free if you are a small team. So it's great if you want to just like try it out with your team, and you only get access to 10,000 of your team's most recent messages. So that's when I was talking about one of the limitations compared to some of the other apps. For the free version, Slack doesn't let you look at all of your archived history there. So it's only 10,000 of your team's most recent messages. But the paid version will allow you to look at all of them, which is really great. So you do only get 10 integrations with other apps for the free version. So say you've connected Google Drive and Dropbox, so you would only get 8 more integrations with other apps. So that is kind of another limitation if you're going to be adding in a bunch of different types of apps. And then you get one-on-one voice and video calls between teammates. So you can connect something like Zoom if you want to, and be able to video chat with people. The standard pricing for Slack is more for the small, medium-sized businesses. It's $667 a month. I believe that's the annual rate. So they give you a little bit of a discount if you pay annually. And so you get all of your organization's messages at your fingertips. So all of the history of your organization's messages. You get all sorts of unlimited integration. So if you wanted to integrate every single app that's out there into your Slack account, you can. And then it's very secure. And you can also do the face-to-face communication with up to 15 teammates instead of the one-on-one. So I did include a link if you want to take a look at what the different pricing is for Slack. So all of this is right in here. There are some other ones. There's a plus for larger businesses. There's also an enterprise gold. You will have to contact the sales department to get more information on that. There are some limitations on as far as how much storage you get per member. So I don't really recommend something like Slack to store a ton of files on. I would use something like your Dropbox or Box or Google Drive to really store things and, just like easily connect those apps within Slack, if that makes sense. So just something that is a slight limitation. They do give you a good amount of space per member, but if you're looking for more of a file sharing and storage tool, I would use something like that and just integrate it within the Slack apps. So that's the pricing. And then I did want to open up, feel free to chat me if you guys have some questions about Slack or some of these other tools that we went over. I hope that you will use something like a Slack platform to chat back and forth between people. I think it's a really clean looking app. It's easy to find different messages, and you can easily search within your messages if I wanted to find something real quick instead of, looking through my email inbox, which sometimes doesn't even work for me when I'm searching for messages, especially on like a mobile device. So Slack is really great for that. The app for your phone, I will say, is one of my most favorite things because you can snooze it. So maybe you don't work, from 6 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next day. You can snooze all your notifications and not have to worry about work and really like turn your brain off and just focus on family or your personal life. And then once, in the morning, you can turn back on those notifications and you'll see what all is going on within your company. And it's great, like if you're on vacation, because you can snooze all those notifications while you're out and not have to be bogged down with, oh my gosh, I'm not answering people fast enough. So kind of unlike the email inbox that you might be seeing while you're on vacation, it might be stressing you out a little bit. So something kind of cool. Really hope that you guys will kind of dive in and start playing around with it. I know it's something that a lot of other organizations do use. So if you are one of those companies that's very client facing, it would be great to get your clients on board. Most of them might already be using it. And so it would be a great way to just collaborate back and forth with them. So I hope that was helpful. Feel free to chat me if you have questions. And thank you very much for your time. This presentation is being recorded. So I know that was a lot of information to go over and a lot of different new tools that you might not have been familiar with. So feel free to reference that. And I will be sending the slides as well that have links to all the videos that we watched. So you could watch them again to see what the backends look like of all the different platforms. And I put up our contact info there. Once again, our email is info@tabletopmediagroup.com. And then you can follow us on social @tabletopmediagp, and our website's tabletopmediagroup.com. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. I am available and all ears for you guys. So thank you very much. And Melissa, I know that you had a question. How do you separate all the platforms and know when to use them? Are you talking about like all the different apps within Slack? If you can let me know just a little bit more info about that question, I'm happy to answer that. And thank you, everybody. If you want to hop off, feel free. If you have questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes longer, and I'm happy to answer those for you. And Melissa's saying, how do you separate all the different platforms that we've been teaching in this class? So I know that's something that we've gone over a lot of different remote tools, But I'd say my biggest piece of advice is just pick what works best for you. So like for my company, we specifically use all things Google Suite and then also Basecamp. So I think we will have a little team talk to see if something like Slack might be good for us to use. But I think that it's one of those things that you just need to kind of play around, see what works best for you and your teammates. I always try to get their input before making a decision, like, let's all start using Slack together, because there are so many great tools out there, and keeping it very kind of limited, I think, is the best piece of advice I can give you. And so let's see. Somebody said, if you add your email, can reply to messages in Slack. So yes, I believe so, Rutha. I think that when you add in your email on Slack, you should be able to respond back to people on there. So that's something I need to play around with more. I haven't connected my email yet, but I know like on, if you connect like the Google Calendar one, for instance, I'll share my screen again. And then I'll show you like for Google Calendar, if I wanted to add in an event, I can create it directly within Slack. So I can say like meeting with Lewis, and I could select my date today at like a certain time. And it will automatically add this into my, my Google Calendar. So if I hit create, it will add it to my calendar, and I could go in and take a look at my Google Calendar, and now it's here, meeting with Lewis. So I believe that if you do add in your email, we can try it out. I think that it should let you answer emails directly within Slack, which is really cool. So I'm going to add in my Gmail and see if this will work for us. Melissa's asking, so I don't use all of these different remote tools that we're using, and that's absolutely correct. There's no way I could use all of them. I think it might confuse me, honestly. One thing that we use is the Basecamp one that I talked to you about, and I like Basecamp because you can chat back and forth. It's more of a project management software, and for us, I would say we're really focused on like deadlines and projects, and so that works really well for us. So I'm more of like one of the users of a project management software, but I really like Slack though too. I think it's something that we might start using just because the Google Hangout isn't as robust. So I will explore a little bit more on the Google adding in Gmail. I'm not able to do it right now on this computer, but I'll explore with that and see if you are able to answer emails. But I believe that you should be able to send emails in Slack and discuss them with your whole team in there. So that's a great question. Very cool. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of your time. If you have other questions, feel free to chat me. I am certainly around. I'll do a little bit more research on that and get back to Sherry, who's from the Small Business Center with Vance Granville Community College. I'll get back to her on that one question once I play around with that a little bit more to see if Slack can let you respond to emails. But great question, Rutha. And thank you, everybody, so much. I'm going to go ahead and hit end meeting, and you will get a copy of these slides and the recording, so that way you can take a look at that. I appreciate you all. Have a good day.